Welcome to the Billings Public Library STEM at Home series. We are starting this month learning all about Scratch, which is a beginning coding program built especially just for kids. So we're excited. There are a few different free coding platforms and resources that are really great for young people just starting to learn how to code. Scratch is one that we do like to use at the library and one that we've used in past programs. So we are going to give a little bit of an overview of how to get started in Scratch, what it actually looks like, and how to start learning how to code. Again, this isn't the only resource that you can start learning how to code, and we'll list a few more at the end, but this is one that we just wanted to highlight and kind of get you nice and familiar with so you can start to learn how to code on your own. My name is Carla. I am an assistant children's librarian at the Billings Public Library, and I have used Scratch myself a few times for different programs and other groups at the library, and I'm excited to kind of show you around today. So right off the bat, this is the main homepage of Scratch. You can see the URL is scratch.mit.edu. Scratch was actually created at MIT. It's maintained by the Lifelong Kindergarten Group in the MIT Media Lab. This is built especially for kids, especially ages 8 to 16. If you have some younger coders, you can also check out Scratch Junior, which is an affiliated program. It's a little bit scaled back, a little bit age appropriate for those younger kids, ages 5 to 7, but while also learning how to code. And so you can see right from the home page, there's a couple different tabs that we can go in. Create, which we'll go into in just a minute, opens up a brand new blank project for you to begin coding. Explore will take you to the online community, so different projects that other users have created. You can browse projects, get ideas, kind of see what you can do within Scratch. Ideas is a good place to start if you are brand new at coding and kind of brand new to Scratch. There are a ton of tutorials through the ideas page, especially if you're brand new. The Getting Started is a really quick short tutorial that kind of introduces the basics and gets you going. There's also more tutorials on how to do specific actions, how to make your projects a little more complex. So we will go into today to create. And so this is the actual project view when you're wanting to create your own coding project. And the way Scratch works is it mimics, so you think of a coding language, everything is stacked. So there's, kind of directives within directives. And the way these are organized determines what your output, what will happen on the web page will be when you're coding. And Scratch kind of mimics this. So we have our coding building blocks over on the side here, and they're color coded depending on what they do. So we have ones for motion, ones for how things might look, sounds, events. So basically when do you want your action to happen? And a lot of this is going to be either like when the green flag is clicked right up here, or you can choose maybe when I hit the F key, I want to move 10 steps forward. So you combine your event blocks with any of the other blocks around it to determine when you want those to happen. And there's all sorts of control. There's, as you get more complex, there's operators as you kind of build up in your coding abilities. Go back to up to the top. So these are your kind of building blocks for how you're going to build your code. And to visualize it, what you're actually coding is going to be right in this screen here. And so you can see a lot of Scratch is built around coding characters and objects. And these are called sprites. So this little character here, you actually control down in this box. You can see your sprite. If you want to add a new one, go right in here. There's lots to choose from. So maybe we want a butterfly to join our kitty cat friend here. And you can also choose backdrops. And same process, you can choose a backdrop. And let's see what kind of backdrop we can want. I kind of like this forest backdrop, I think. And so from here, when you're coding, and there's our backdrop, you want to pay attention to when you click on a sprite, you choose that one, and everything you code will be specific to that individual sprite. So you can think of, you need to code each character that you want to use in your story. And so the coding mimics real coding through the kind of processional and directional ways. So we start with our blocks. So let's say we want to move 10 steps. Well, when do we want that to happen? So we might go down to events and we'll say when the green flag is clicked, we want to move 10 steps. And there it moved a little bit. And so you can continue to build blocks on top of each other. You can just maybe choose, I want to repeat this whole block 10 times when this is clicked. And you can see the results. And so the idea of Scratch is also to test and retest. So we might pull a block over and then see what happens. And keep repeating until we get the result that we're looking for, or even kind of play around and explore and see maybe what we can make just by exploring and trying new things within our building blocks here. So here you can see a project that's pretty involved. This is one that I worked on for a coding program we did a few months ago at the library. And so what you can see is you can slowly start building from that little block that we made earlier into a really detailed and involved project. So you can see on our first step, we started just like we did on the first one, and we say when the green flag is clicked, these actions are going to happen. So when we do that, there is the little dog talking, but there's also all of these other commands that we have put in here too. So we can see when the right arrow key is pressed, and I'll do that now, our dog moves. When the left arrow key is pressed, he moves backwards. Space will start our background song, and so we can hear that now. Now if our animation, our coding project is running and we want to stop, we can always just hit the red stop sign, and there we go, music stopped. We can also see we have up and down arrows coded as well right here. And so we can see how that now has programmed the movement into our project. And then this block is a special, so we can choose whatever key we want for this group of actions. And for this one, we have done turn 90 degrees repeated 4 times, which makes a full flip. So you can see how involved these projects can come as you keep working. If you keep looking down, you can see we have, in this case it's our heroes, but it's our sprite because this was a pre-formed project. Also choose with our buildings. So there's a whole code block associated with our buildings. And this is to build this running background. When we turn the space key, we can see how the background appears to move. That is what this entire block is functioning. So you can really start to build these tiny directions on top of each other to create a game, to create an animation, and really get going. And so the important thing to remember with Scratch is that, especially if you're a beginner, it can take a little bit of time to get used to the program and get used to the different commands and how they can kind of build on each other. And that's the whole idea, is just that we're learning. It allows for open exploration, so you can start building those processes and critical thinking skills that are used in quote unquote real coding. And so you can start to explore and build and kind of getting more and more complex the more and more you build those coding and analytical skills within Scratch. So I hope you have learned a little bit about Scratch. We will also list a kind of resources help page for Scratch and also some other free coding resources that are great for kids that are free to use that you can also check out. Please feel free to share your projects with us here at the Billings Public Library. We would love to see them. So if you'd like to do that, you can email kidsdesk@billingsmt.gov. And we will be really excited to see them and maybe even share them if you'd like. So thank you all for joining us. Check back in for our next STEM at Home digital program in July. We are going to be exploring sound and making homemade speakers, so be sure to join us then.